Hi friends, my name is Jake. Welcome to Canadian Cutting Edge, and today obviously we're talking about sharpening. I firmly believe that sharpening is the main factor that's going to bring you long-term enjoyment of the knife hobby. Yeah, the main thing, not the knives themselves, although the knives themselves are very good. Most knife guys buy and sell, buy and sell, buy and sell. A few guys collect and collect and collect and never sell, like one of my friends in Germany. But most people, they buy something, use it for a while, sell it. But a lot of joy comes from getting a very nice, sharp edge. Everything from the perfect working edge to the perfect mirror edge. It's the goal of a lot of guys who have knives. If you're new to the knife hobby, the most common mistake I see guys make, and gals that are new to the knife hobby, is they don't think about sharpening. They don't plan for spending some money and investing it in a good sharpening system. They go out and buy one of the cheapest systems that they can afford, and then they get frustrated. And I believe that's the main reason why most people who leave the hobby, in a year or two, 6 months, whatever it is, they're leaving because they're not enjoying their knives because they don't get sharp edges on them, and they get frustrated and they go, it's a cool knife, but I can't cut nothing with it. It's just, it doesn't work right. I get a brand new knife. It works well for a while, and then how do I get a good edge on it? That's why, like stropping. My #1 video on this channel has to do with stropping. It's not about a knife review. Stropping, sharpening, honing, all those things are really important. Today, we're going to look at an offering by Hapstone, their new modular system. It's been out for, half a year, maybe up to a year by now, where you can buy a base and then you can buy a wide variety of types of systems that hold the blade, either table systems or clamping systems, and all kinds of other add-ons as well. I'm going to show you the entire system, and you can choose piecemeal which things you want to get and which things you want to leave. So stick around. This video might take a little while. I'm going to try to basically introduce the things, and then we'll do separate videos for each of the components. So get comfortable. Here it comes. We'll start with this box with the #1 on it, the base of the unit. Now, I've used this, I've tested it for a couple weeks, actually more like almost a month now. And then I put it all back in its individual boxes. So this isn't an unboxing video per se, but I am showing a little bit unboxing. In the main box, you get the base. Now, I've already put that together. I didn't take it all the way back apart. These two screws here, you're given the hex driver for it, the Allen key. That screws onto the main base plate. Nice, thick, heavy piece of metal. I haven't weighed it. Maybe I'll go weigh it, and I'll be right back. This part is a tiny bit over 2 kilograms, almost 4.5 pounds. We've got 8mm thick steel plate. That's about 1/3 of an inch. It's a big, heavy chunk. So this is the main plate where the different types of things that hold your knife attached to. This is for the rod. So here's the rod. It's already got a washer screwed on one end. So you put it in the bottom with that washer end going in the bottom. And there it goes up. That's it. This, come on, get on there. There we go. So that goes onto this rod. So you bring it all the way down to the bottom, unless I misremembered how that goes. So there you go. And that way it won't go down and scratch your table. Got rubber feet, 3 rubber feet, so it sits well balanced. Then you need your stone holder, and it comes with an adapter to make it long. So we've got a long rod and the stone holder, and you put them together using these screws to hold it together. So put it in there. That sound that you're hearing in the background, I'm sorry if it's annoying some of you guys. That is Bandit chewing on one of his rawhide chews. So you heard me say his name and I was just staring at me. So that's the stone holder. And now you need this part. This is what goes onto the rod. Put this back here. It goes onto this rod here so that you can raise and lower and change the angle. So let me make sure I do this the right way. It goes down so that this hook is down. And then your rod goes through the hole in that orange part. We've got ball bearing systems. Get that over here. We've got ball bearing systems in here on either side. So it slides very well. And then that hook is the wrong way, although that can work, but I think I got that wrong. So here it says Hapstone. This is off to one side, so the orange goes to the middle so that you don't put it on this way. You put it on this way, and that's how you use it. And then this goes into here, and there you have it. That is the main base of the unit. You can change the length of the stone on here, everything from the 6-inch stones down to 4-inch stones work on this clamp system. You can have stones that have the backing on it. You can just have flat stones if you want to put in here. And the spring here is what grips it. You just pull it back, put the stone in there, and it holds it. This is your flat surface for checking your angle. There we go. That's the main unit. I'm going to put that a little bit to the side right now. Box number 2 was the rod, the stone holder, I should say. Now let's start with box number 3, except for there's like 4 different boxes that have the number 3 on it. One of them is this. So this part of the unit was $125. This is the extended magnetic table. It's like the Hapstone V8 system. This is the most complex of those tables. We've got magnets here to hold your knife. We've got this adjustable section to adjust where the table sits. Let's tighten this up with these Allen keys just for show. I'm not going to make it very tight. So there you go. Your knife sits on here. This is great for kitchen knives. You can extend these all the way out if you want, or bring them all the way in. What this is the best for is like full flat grind knives, because there's no flat spot on the edge to clamp them. So full flat grind knives, the magnets will hold them in place. I haven't even removed the plastic protection stuff. Here, let's show you what it looks like under there. Yeah, it's just these neodymium magnets. I won't take those off. And you adjust this. I'll show how to use this table in another video, but I do have a video on the V7, which is basically that part of the table without the extra wings. We've also got the small magnetic table module, like the Hapstone M3 system. This is $35. This is more like what I was talking about before. So that goes in there, and you've got the magnets here, and it works the same way. The magnets hold the knife in place. This holds, you adjust this to the spine of the blade so that when you turn the knife over, you still have it straight and even so that both of your edges are going to be the same. So that's $35. But here's the one that most of you guys are looking for. This is the rotating clamp module, like the Hapstone R2. And it looks really simple like this, doesn't it? It's just a simple piece. It's $54. It goes on here like this. Let me loosen that one up just a little bit to get it back in there. There we go. Tighten it up a bit. And it rotates. It's got detents to hold it exactly level. And you turn it and it's level again. You adjust with this wheel back here how hard it's going to be to spin it. This is the main rotating clamp system. Let me take this off just so I can show you. Get that out of the way. The end of it is like that. There's the slots. That's where the clamps mount onto this section right here. And it works very, very well. Let's get some of those. Let's do the side straight clamps first. These are $110. Open up, there we go. And it comes packed up much nicer than this. This is not an unboxing video. These individual parts, they all come wrapped in Hapstone paper, just wrapped in paper to protect them during shipping. None of them that I've got have been damaged. They've all been in good condition. And very simply, we've got some screws here, another Allen key. The Allen key is for adjusting, as you're clamping on. I'm not going to talk about that part, just this part here on how it mounts. When I do the other video, I can talk about the clamps themselves, but this, well, actually, maybe this is what I'll talk about on this one. This is the most common clamp. You just put one on that side, and you see the sides here. There's a little bit of a notch right there. That notch sits on either side and holds it tight. Well, the screw holds it tight, but it holds it in proper place. And let's put that screw in there. There you go. And that's the main clamp. I'm just going to put a tiny knife here because I got a tiny knife within reach. With such a small knife, I would only use one. I'd take the one off. These clamps will work with blades that are almost 1/4 of an inch thick and get you a nice parallel clamping experience. And that's how you clamp them down. They're a good basic clamp. This one is the universal angled clamps, which you can use by themselves or in addition to those other ones. Let's say you get a really long knife and you want it clamped in several places. Maybe it's a flexible knife. So you can have a clamp here and a clamp here, the first ones I showed you, and add these on to the end. You can put them on this way. You can put them on this way if you want to reach right to the middle, if you'd prefer that. So you could put both of them to the middle. You could put one to the middle, one to one side, one each to one side. You can arrange them however you want by themselves or in conjunction with those other ones. And then this one, $67.50, this is the central Y-shaped clamp. And it goes right here in the middle. So you can make these go in the middle, but this is a nice big wide clamp. And they just go on just like the other ones did. Put that on there. Oops, I didn't actually tighten it up, did I? I was trying to get done in a hurry here. There you go. You will, of course, put both of them on, but this is just to show you these 3 main types of clamps that you can put on here. But that's not everything that you can do. This will get you almost all of your knives. You certainly do not need all 3 of these types. This is just to show you the variety. 3-inch blades and less. One clamp holds it sturdy enough. One of these narrow clamps is all I need. And of course they come in a pair, and so a pair of these holds almost everything I need. And I rarely use the extra clamps. I've never owned a Y set of these clamps before. And I've used these now when I was practicing with it, playing with it for a few days. They're nice, I like them, but you don't really need them for most people. If you've got blades that are, a number of knives with blades that are over 6 inches long, I should say. So you've got 6, 7, 8, 9 inch, 10 inch long blades that you want to clamp. That's what these wide ones come in very handy for. We have a final type of clamp. This is the small side clamps. They're the ones that come with the R2 Lite, but you can get them for here as well. These are especially good for if you are a collector of tiny knives, especially small knives. Of course, you can still do a 3-inch knife with these as well. 4-inch knife works fine too. These clamps, they can hold just barely up to an 1/8 of an inch thick blade. That's about 3.3 millimeters thick, something like that. So it's generally for blades that are thinner than that. And although you can do these blades or even, something big like this with these clamps, they really excel at tiny blades. So it's clamped in. Now when you go to sharpen it, you want to sharpen across here, but you can't have this or the stone hitting the clamp. On these larger ones, it's more likely that you're going to have your stone hit the clamp instead of just the edge, especially if you want to do a fine angle. So these do come in very handy. Did I give you the price? $51 US for a pair of these. They aren't, dual adjustment like these other ones are. They just clamp down, so it's not keeping these jaws parallel all the time. But they hold just fine on little knives this size, and like I said, even these, they hold just fine. I just prefer to use these for my tiny knives. Let's take this back off because we've got other add-on parts that I'm going to tell you about. And then there's this bigger box. This is the scissors module. I use this module a lot. I happen to use this not only for scissors. Maybe I should get a pair of scissors so that I can show you how this works. No, I'll show you on the scissors video how it works. So let me loosen that back up again. That's how it tightens down on there. It's a nice modular system. We've got 3 more things to look at. Spring-assisted stopper ring for Hapstone, $6.20. This is going to be the best $6.20 you're going to spend. I don't consider this optional. I consider this essential. So here I am sharpening away. You don't want your stone, when you're sharpening, you don't want your stone to go off the end so that, the metal here rubs on the blade, and you don't want it to go off the other end either. So these things will stop your stone from sliding over the edge of your blade. Either the front part of your stone or the back part of your stone, you don't want it sliding past. So very simply, you just put these in here. One on this side. And I'll show these, I'll do a separate video to show these in more precision, how they work. But this way, you can adjust the stroke. And when it gets to the end of the stroke, if you tighten that up properly, it's got a little bit of spring to come to a stop instead of slamming to a stop. So it just works really well. So it changes how far you go up and down. I have cosmetically wrecked a number of knives simply from taking my stone over the end and then having the mechanism that holds the stone rub on the bevel of the blade, and it just makes a mess on your bevel. This fixes that. The other thing it fixes is your handle, for your clamp handle, this whole thing can't come sliding all the way out. Especially if you're doing something at the extreme lengths, you might get close to the edge and make it fly out, and you don't want to do that. So instead, you just use those. And of course, this hook here is what you use to hold it. So these are essential. what's this? Convex rod for the Hapstone system, $9.20. And that's all that it is. It's a little angle changer. So let me take this back apart. It's very simple. You put one end on here, and let me make sure I get this the right way. This way. Yes. You think it's upside down. See, here's the Hapstone word. The set screw is what you put on that side, and we'll tighten it down. And then this one we put in here. Tighten up the set screw. And then I put it back in here. Let's see if I'm on screen. So this is a side-on view. It's where the camera is right now. You will see it this way, but this shows you what it looks like. You can change this angle. If you do it with a greater angle, then of course it's going to go much more quickly. Now, just looking at it, this does not make sense to a lot of people. So I will do a video where I demonstrate that much more clearly, how that really works. All right, so let's leave that. And finally, we've got this. What is this? This is a fine tuning adapter for the Hapstone system. It's for this. It's for adjusting your angle. So what you do is you take that part off, you put the fine tuning mechanism on first, like that, and then you put this back down. And now, let's put this about halfway up. This turns to adjust the height. You tighten it on here, and then you can loosen this one, and you can just turn this wheel a little bit to increase the angle, or turn it down a little bit to decrease the angle, just a slight bit. Because sometimes you can move this, and you're thinking, clamp that down. Oh, that's 20.5 degrees. I wanted 20 degrees. So you loosen it up. Oh, that's 19.6 degrees. And then you move it back up again. Oh, that's 20.3 degrees. And you just get frustrated. So what you do is you put this wheel about in the middle of its range, unless you know for sure you want to go up or down. And you clamp it on, you loosen this, and then you change the angle to the angle that you want. And once you've got it where you want, then you tighten this down, and you're good to go. So very, very useful piece of kit for doing precise angle adjustments. So there you go. That's all the stuff that comes in with the kit. You don't need to buy it all, of course, but you pick and choose. You buy what you want. So thanks for watching this video. If you've got any questions, leave them down in the comments below. Thanks for liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. And remember, friends, cut towards your chum, not your thumb. Bye for now.